7 of Uncensored. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is a good friend of mine, Kerrigan Mahan, and thank you for being a guest on my talk show once again.
And thank you once again, Keith Andrew, for having me. Thank you.
Now, for people, pretty good. For people who want to know who Kerrigan Mahan is, he is the voice of the one and only Goldar from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I am Kerrigan Mahan, the voice of Goldar. Well, here I am at 10:20 on a Saturday morning with an angry rant. So maybe we can lighten it up here.
No, it's fine. You can say whatever you want. I think it's very entertaining.
Oh gosh, we have such a horrific drought out here in California that the reality, if this continues, which unfortunately all signs point to it is going to continue, there's no global warming. Good God. I mean, good God.
Oh, do you believe in global warming?
110% I do. I believe we are certainly in a cycle, a universal cycle. This planet is in a climate change cycle, but it's not in a cycle. We are exacerbating it to a horrific degree, and it's a combination, like everything is usually a combination. It's a combination of, I believe, I've read quite a bit about it. We're in a combination. We're in a cycle, and we are just speeding that baby up. I mean, there are no dissenters in the science community. None of the real scientists, not the government bot scientists. So, yes, I certainly do. Anybody that doesn't is a moron.
Well, it's true. You looked at, recently New York got hit by a tornado. And that should, once or twice that may happen, but it's happening more and more frequently. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
So many of these. Yeah, I mean, yes, we're seeing so many more of these natural disaster events, like literally tenfold. So, I mean, come on, guys. Look at these hurricanes. Look at these, these natural phenomenons that are just, God help the Eastern Seaboard. If some of those hurricanes start to, line up and said, well, let's just head right on up the line. I mean,
actually, it's funny you should mention that. There is a hurricane that's supposed to come up the Eastern Seaboard. I hope not, but
if one of those babies catch it right, New York City can't handle that. Manhattan can't handle that. I mean, if it hits it, spot on, Mike Tyson right bang in the heart. It's like, oh boy, okay.
Perfect examples. Look at Hurricane Sandy.
Sure. I mean, it came close. I mean, it hit. It just had lost some force and didn't hit flat on, straight on. If you get the serious 100, if those places pick up a full Cat 5 right down the throats,
it'd be game over.
Game over. Well put.
How about, while we're still on the subject of global warming, you've seen Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's all because of fracking, and the scary part is that can actually happen.
Yeah, the fracking is nuts. Again, corporate America, United States of America is a corporation. It's corporate. It's a corporation. And we are serving the corporation. We're not supposed to be serving the corporation. We're supposed to be sovereign. They're supposed to be serving us. We hauled all our gold and all our money at their demand in 1933 when this country went bankrupt. So this whole thing's a sham. But I got to be careful here. I don't want to, wind up having the feds knocking on my door, going, "What are you talking about with that interview you did with Keith Andrew?"
Actually, it's funny you should mention that. We talked about 9/11, saying it was a conspiracy. If you don't want to talk about it again, we did talk about it the first time.
No, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm mispronouncing your name. I mean, Andrew or Andrews? I'm looking
no S. Just Keith Andrew.
No S. Got it. Okay, then I was correct. Again, we're not supposed to be coming from fear, and that's where they have us. They have us all cowering from the IRS down, and it's supposed to be 180 degrees opposite. This whole system has reached a point of complete fraudulent madness. I've looked into the banks to such a point and have discovered so much that is, people have no idea how these banks actually work with your money, or when you sign all those papers when you buy a house, what they do with your signature, and how there's no money. They're not loaning you any money. There is no money.
Or how about
all those dollars that we use money? That's not money. Those are Federal Reserve notes worth nothing.
What about
Backed by nothing.
how about when you sign the forget the name of the company, but you sign it and you keep the house until you die, and when you die they take everything back. You heard about that?
I've heard about anything and everything. It's I'm launching into some serious research right now on common law, and from what I can gather so far, no court, equity court, virtually, which are all based in maritime law, which, oh my gosh, no court can overturn common law. So if you get all your ducks in order and walk in, or the bank calls you in to the court, you give the judge that all your little common law filings that you've done, finding out things like Texas. Texas is the only state in the union that does international law. Common law trumps everything. Anyway, I'm playing some games with all of this because I'm tired of their bullshit. And again, I was raised, well, as my wife says, you might as well have been raised by wolves. I was raised, non-raised, so to speak, but my dad did raise me with two very tremendous, what's the word?
Responsibilities?
Well, responsibilities, I know, two wonderful things to do and the way to live in life. Two things he taught me. Your word is everything. Keep your word. And secondly, your credit. Don't let your credit go to hell. Well, I did that good too up until so many years ago when, I built a house at the wrong time and it wasn't pretty. And it's new rules now. Your credit is not what it used to be. Now it's shit, bankruptcy. Okay. But it's gonna be, I can't get a credit card. What are you talking about?
I'll give you a perfect example. I don't have a job and you're giving me free credit cards.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, totally. I got issued a credit card before my bankruptcy was, what do they call, what's the word, not just finished, not terminated, can't think of it, will in a minute. Basically, I had not finished bankruptcy, and I got hey, let's get you started. And I'd never, dreamed I would have to declare bankruptcy, but I did. I got in way over my head on $1 million house, and
Normal house or mansion?
huh?
Normal house or was it a mansion?
Not a mansion. The reason it was $1 million house was it was whitewater ocean views, and I got in over my head. I, refied my house up to the hilt, took money out to buy the lot, and I did it all at the wrong time. It was right. We were headed right for the crash. We're talking back in. Well, I bought it in 2005, but the whole process once I realized I couldn't get out of the lot. It was too late. Nobody was buying lots anymore. Well, I just bought one. I have one. I have a fresh one. It's $905,000, sir. Oh, I was being crushed. I was absolutely being crushed. I was watching all my money of all those years of doing all those voices melt away. I lost everything.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You know what? Life happens. I'm a better man for it. I built a stunning, just jaw-dropping contemporary home that I still look at to this day. And even though it crushed me, I got the experience of building literally a $1 million house. I mean, that's what it cost to build. Not what I sold it for. I sold it for 1.8 and still lost so much money.
Well, we should hang out one day. I would love to see it.
Oh, it's a beautiful house. I'll send you some pictures. Just to give you an idea to what degree I'm talking about. And I think it probably is. I probably came as close as I would guess a nervous breakdown would be like. I really, to have to be in the middle of a tornado like that, realizing your money is gone and it's going to continue to go. And I was, and I had a guy who was buying the house I'm in. He turned out to be a nutball, stringing me along for month after month after month. The money and we're going to escrow. We're going to wire it. And yeah. Oh my God. Garrett Kellogg, wherever you are, I will find you one day, and God help you when I do. That sounds like a threat. It is.
Well, if you're okay with it, do you mind doing some Goldar voices?
Well, there's really only one Goldar voice, and I'll be a son of a bitch if it.
I love that. I saw your video recently. It was really good.
You liked it?
I think Goldar stole the show. No disrespect. I know you are Goldar, but I think...
It's fine. Now, you mean the most recent one?
Yes, when you're doing the audition.
Yeah. I loved doing that. I loved doing it. It was a lot of work. I mean, meaning, and I don't, you don't realize, obviously you don't see them, but I'm performing this in front of an entire class of kids.
You guys hang on for a minute? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My sister needed something.
Oh.
You were saying you were performing in front of an entire class.
Oh, I was performing in front of the whole drama class. And the reason I was doing that was I had to use... to get the room, we needed to involve the drama class so that I wouldn't have to pay for the room at the school. And I have Bob Schwanoa, who is the Dean of Students, to thank for making all of that happen. My wife, Melanie, knows Bob from Kiwanis, and she's very active with Kiwanis. And Bob met me and told me how I had to go about it, which required a permit from the county. And I'm like, oh, God. And he said, you know what? Let's trump this. Let's go down and introduce you to Sherry Wright, the drama teacher. Involve them. The room's yours. I said, oh, nice.
Good deal.
And give me your 2 best students. Perfect. So I met them literally at the shoot. And of course they had to act to nothing. Obviously, they're not watching me. I'm not watching me on stage. We're watching nothing on stage, right? So I did the speech for, many, many times. Because that's what you have to do in on-camera acting. You have different setups, and every time there's another setup, you have to go through the scene again. So the editor has what she needs to edit. And I'm sorry I dropped a shot. I'm really sorry, but this is the reality of directing. I'm still as much directing as I've done over the years, and stage, and my fair share of film at this point. But I missed a shot. You know what it is?
What was it?
I missed the shot. I should have done a setup, a couple, 2, 3 setups of me right into the camera. So she could have had that just to cut a couple of times wherever it might work. It would have even made it more engrossing, more fun, more quirky, crazy, and especially if I'd, done with one of those. But within the, hollow crowd on the drums, he keeps that, he's cool. And there the ethics is, But, you know what? That is no different than any director in the world. You can't show me one director, I don't care what the movie is. Pick the movie, I find you the director, sit down with that director and ask him, is there anything you would have done differently? Do you have an hour?
Have as much time as you like.
It's what?
I'd have as much time as you like. Unlimited.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, no, I'm just saying, any director would be the first to tell you, oh gosh, yes, the scene between blah blah and blah blah. I'm sorry that I didn't use more close-ups with them. I didn't like the way that scene was edited, and I would have edited. Everybody has changes, and that's the only thing about it. Comfort. I wish I'd had that shot. I wish it had that shot to cut to wherever it might have worked. But so be it. You move on. You learn. The lesson from that, I have a shoot coming up for a startup company a week from tomorrow. And it's going to involve like 25 extras on a rolling bus. But any upcoming directors, anybody out there that might hear this and wants to direct, I have one, I think it's a good solid word of advice. Do not go into the field without a shot list. Have studied that shot list. Study it. Envision your every single shot. Absolutely spend time at the location or locations prior to getting there with the actors. And always be on the lookout for more coverage. Get as much coverage as you possibly can. Shoot everything. Shoot it from every angle. Shoot the hell out of it. Because once you leave and it goes into post, what did you say earlier? Game over. That's it. You're not going back. I wasn't sure at a point I was getting enough from the kids, comfort. I really needed them to pop their head up, and started out with them doing this. He said, no. When he throws the chair, I did the speech for them so they could see what they would be watching theoretically. And I just, couldn't get them to, come on, work with me, okay? I need, that chair goes, and then I had somebody off stage literally go, bang, and that's what we're talking about. Snap that head up. And then we got that in the movie. Most people don't realize how much work goes into something like that. I mean, that was, we shot for 5 hours.
Well, how many cameras did he have? Well,
One.
I would have, if you told me about it, I would have helped. I have 2 extra cameras.
It might have been a bit expensive for you to get from New York to Morro Bay. No, we didn't need any more cameras. I mean, what was really a fun, crazy madness was I was running a little tiny bit behind when the kids filed in. We started shooting at 10. They filed in after lunch. This was their drama class. The session was me. I'm doing that last shot as where Goldar and I are walking outside, saying, and my 2 wonderful gay friends that I love to death. CJ is so incredibly talented. I saw him in a cabaret about 2-3 months ago and doing the lead character in drag, and he was absolutely phenomenal. He is Broadway ready at 20 years old. No bullshit. Anyway, I had to get that last shot, and the kids had all come in, and I quickly said, Daniel, hold tight. Emily, my shooter, hold tight. Ran into the classroom, introduced myself. This is what we're going to be doing. Bada-ba, bada-ba, bada-ba. I got to finish this shot, and then I'll be back in, and we'll do the thing. Oh, good. They all just sat there like, just stone quiet. All right, whatever. Out I go. We finish it up. Then I mean, it's really the pressure of getting it going now with the class there and making sure that they're getting to see and explaining to them how it works, so it falls under the heading of class. And so I race in and I quickly say, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the speech here, and you're going to watch my shooter shoot me. We've done it many times, but we're going to grab one more, and that's the one where I could have looked into the camera, damn it. And it didn't. So I knocked out the whole speech for them, and I finished. And when I walk out, Goldar and I walk out of frame, and we walked out of the frame, and I stopped at that lectern that was on stage left and looked out at them, and I folded my arms. They didn't make a sound. There was no clapping. There was no bravo. There was no nothing. They all sat staring at me. Finally, I looked out and I smiled at them all, and I said, "Feel free to applaud." But they were told by Sherry Wright, their teacher, not a sound from them because we're shooting, right? So they didn't realize they could applaud. Anyway, that broke the ice. And then I went racing out because you note the difference, obviously, in the 2 characters. I'm racing out with my bag of director's clothes into the nasty men's room in the school. I mean, they have a certain even smell. It's like
Ben Gay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just nasty, right? And now I'm just, not only am I changing my clothes, but I have to shave. The director's clean shaven, and So anyway, that being said, I raced to get into wardrobe, and the kids had no idea what I was going to make a re-entrance looking like. Hello, I'm here. Let's shoot. And they were like, so they were actually the whole class. If I'm sitting here like this, they were all in chairs over on that side, watching that entire sequence of the director being shot. Anyway, I was saying we were in there 5 hours. 5 hours shooting, and probably, I would say Emily probably spent the better part of 4 hours editing, call it 5, and my brother-in-law Thomas probably spent, I don't know how many hours mixing and doing, and he wrote that music, which I just love. Anyway, we're going to actually enter this one in some shorts. I can do it because I have other things that are already, I'm eligible, in other words, to enter this as a short. It runs over 5 minutes. I figure, why not? It's that crazy.
No, it's good. I like at the part where he says, "Here's your king dick."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing, I'm just kind of thinking about keeping them going. I put a call into Saban the other day and chatted with a particular party about, I know they're tied to the Japanese footage. At the same time, they don't have a gun to their head. They're not tied to it. They're tied to it because that's the way they're doing it. But they can go out and shoot. I mean, they could build another Goldar suit and shoot original footage if they were to bring me back. And I went in and looked at the shows again. The end of, what is the episode where I theoretically, the one where everybody dissolves to sand?
Oh, that's when they killed Zordon.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to double, triple check. I'd never really gone in and done the research and seen with my own eyes that episode from beginning to end. And newsflash, Goldar was not ever killed. I am not on camera being turned to sand ever. So I kind of pitched the idea that, my fans are screaming for this. Feels like a win-win to me. Bring him back for, 4, 5 episodes and have all hell break loose. I mean,
do your spin-off.
Shit. Who is he? What is it? Yeah, what is it? Not even a spin-off. Just, he's from they killed all of them. No, they didn't. They never got him. We found out, and all of a sudden, Goldar's just wreaking havoc. I think, I said to the party I was pitching this to, I think this would have the ratings go through the roof if Goldar came back. And she was very intrigued. She said, "I'm going to run this upstairs. I think it's an interesting idea." I said, "Well, at the same time, how much do you know about the movie?" She said, "They're keeping it very under wraps. They're hardly I was speaking to marketing. She said, "They're hardly giving us anything."
Yeah, it's just a fan-made.
It's what?
It's just fan-made. It's the fans making it. Yeah, I thought they didn't have any part in it.
No. Lionsgate and Saban have teamed up, and a great big fat fucking Power Rangers is in the process. It's in pre-production. Now the question is, what are they doing? Is this a great big huge $80 million fucking movie? Or is this a smaller movie where they might be bringing us back if it's a smaller movie? But I don't think so. I think fucking Russell Crowe is going to wind up playing Goldar. I think you're going to have stars playing all those original roles, and the fans are screaming, if they don't bring the original voices back, we're banning, we're boycotting. And my feeling is they don't care about you small fan base guys. They care about a great big huge movie. But the question is then, who is the audience? I mean, you know, all those fans that are not plugged in anymore to all this fandom, you know, that are dentists and lawyers and doctors and, you know, but they were also monstrous fans, no pun intended, in the day. Well, they're probably going to go see that movie. Better be good. If it's not good, the stars aren't going to make it. They're already basically Ninja Turtles to the tune of $125 million.
When people say it's good, I didn't like it.
You saw it.
I saw clips of it, but I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it does badly, I would have to believe that Lionsgate and Saban are watching this very closely, and I'm sure there's still a lot of discussion going on as to how are we doing this? How are we marketing this? What are we doing?
Do you still have time to talk, or do you have other things you want to do?
Well, I'm really supposed to be somewhere at 11:30, but it's not far, so go ahead if you want to. We can do another few minutes, but then I'll have to wrap it up.
No, I don't want to sidetrack you or anything. I appreciate you taking the time.
All right. It's all right. Feel free to ask me anything you want, and we'll wrap things up here in a few minutes.
Thanks. Well, wrapping up, do you have any funny stories you want to tell us? I know you mentioned you did the car scene for, what was his name? You told me about the movie where the guy refused to do the underwater car scene and you had to do the voice for him.
Well, yes, that was kind of a funny story. What do you call practical joke? Is what it was, a practical joke. I was doing Michael Douglas on in the film The Game, and a lot of some of the stars a lot of actors don't like dubbing. It's tedious. It's not the same as doing it on set, because you're really in it on set. So you have to really get in it behind the mic when you dub. Well, some actors are very good at it, some actors are very bad at it, and some actors really don't like it at all. And Michael is one of those. I didn't get this from the horse's mouth, but I did get it from kind of the what we call the ADR editor. In this case, I think, though, it was actually the sound editor, which was virtually the ADR editor too. He handled the whole thing, and I was in doing some of Michael's loops that Michael didn't want to mess with, and so then all of a sudden Michael is coming in to do lines that he's, out of the blue, and during my session, Michael says he's on his way. Well, that means basically I'm out, and have to go do whatever I do, and then come right back at the beck and call, which, it's like, it's part of the territory, it's part of the game. I mean, I'm not the A-list star, I'm the utility man. So basically I left the stage, and I then did my little practical joke, and I wiped the guy out, man. The British fellow, I can't think of his name. I got a hold of him on the stage. Richard, it's Michael. Listen, I've changed my mind. I'm up to my ass with stuff, and I'm not going to make it. Well, Michael, but I just sent Kerrigan off. We have the stage. You sure? We just have a few. No, it's not going to work, Richard. We're just going to have to reschedule. Well, Michael, all right. Well, then I said, what's the matter, Richard? What's the matter? What's the matter, Richard? What's wrong? What? What? Richard, you're all flustered. It's Kerrigan. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! You're not to be believed. Get your ass back here. Good God! Good God! No, I said I just, because Michael's on his way, I just thought I'd fuck you up a little bit. I said, I can't believe you do that. I just can't believe you do that. That was incredible. I was just, my God, I was ready to, I was just, oh, my God. All right, I'll let you know when he's finished. Thank you. Bye, Richard. What I forgot to finish was back to that Dare show. Funny story. I didn't finish it. Finally, I worked my way to the other gate, what we call the back gate. It was the only chance I had. This was the only way I'm getting to this show. And it's starting to get tight. I mean, they're probably going to be running behind anyway because things are such an absolute mess. And they're certainly not going to start the show without me. They can't. I mean, they're acting to lines that I'm saying, and they're in their suits, and it's like that's out of the question. This is a rehearsed situation that I'm very much a part of. So, at the same time, it's time I got there. This freaking guard starts putting me through. I said, dude, listen to me. I'm not on your list. Okay? Well, I can't let you on the lot if you're not on the list. I'm on the list at the other guardhouse, at the main gate. I can't get to the main gate. Well, I can't let you in without your being on the list. I said, listen to me, mister. I'm going to tell you how this is going to go down. Not well for you. Because right now, I'm the voice of Goldar, and they're wondering where the hell I am. So, if you like your job in this booth, it won't be me that fires you, I can promise you. Get the phone. Oh, sorry. Go. Oh. Good. Got it? Good. Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners? Do you have any questions you want to say to me?
I don't think so. I enjoy doing these things. I love the fans. I can't wait to get to Power Morphicon. And I'm going to Pensacola, Florida. A shout out to all of you who will be seeing me at the Pensacola, Florida Con. And I'm also booked again for Lexington, Kentucky, which was one of the biggest cons I've ever been to. I think 15 to 20,000 came through. You guys were awesome. And Power Morphicon, I'll see you all in, I guess I'll see you all in 2 weeks from yesterday. And can't wait. It's fun. That's it. That's all I got. I got no questions.
You are now watching the Keith Andrew Network.